Hey, brothers and sisters. Today I saw another win for free speech. I was pretty happy to see. So let's talk about it. Got the story in the International Business Times in the UK, headline, Why Did Disney Fire Gina Carano? And here's how much the ex-Mandalorian star won from her lawsuit. All right. So if you didn't know, Gina Carano was an actress. I want to say she used to be a wrestler. She had a great character in The Mandalorian. And that was a hit. Loved the first season, was great. What second season was still good, not quite as good. And then I think it's kind of gone off the rails now. But I digress. Overall, it's worth a watch. Definitely watch the first two seasons of The Mandalorian. It's great. Disney fired her for things that she said on the internet, and then I think she sued Disney. And if I remember right, Elon Musk thought this was a travesty and helped fund her legal battle. I think I remember that. So I haven't read this article yet, but let's read it and let's see what we think. And but it looks like from the title, it looks like free speech just had a win today. And this article was published August 8th, so that's today, 5:03 British Standard Time. So why Disney fired Gina Carano and whether she sued the studio for her Mandalorian dismissal. I'm pretty sure she did sue them. All right, so Gina Carano, once one of the breakout stars of The Mandalorian, was unceremoniously dropped from Disney-owned Star Wars franchise in February 2021, following a string of highly controversial social media posts. But 4 years later, she walked away with a secret legal agreement and perhaps a foot back in the galaxy far, far away. Okay, yeah, so maybe Disney will hire her back again. Maybe that's part of the terms of the agreement. Carano's dismissal stemmed from an Instagram post in which she likened the treatment of conservatives in the U.S. to persecution of Jews during the Holocaust. Wow. Liberals usually call conservatives Nazis and fascists in the U.S. So she's just turning the tables. Let's see. Carano wrote on Instagram, I guess, Jews were beaten in the streets not by Nazi soldiers, but their neighbors, even by children. And to be fair, I think Nazis were beating them too, but I agree. I think their neighbors were beating them too, because history is edited. Most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? I see nothing wrong with that statement. And so if you think there's something wrong with that statement, please tell me what I'm missing in the comments. I think that is, an opinion that a lot of people would agree with. I actually agree with it. I kind of agree with her. I think that probably local people definitely went along with what was happening. I see nothing wrong with this. Okay? All right? But what happened? The backlash was swift and intense, with Lucas issuing a sharp rebuke. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm. There are no plans for her to be in the future. Nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. All right, so maybe she said something else, to be fair, but if this is what got her fired, that doesn't match up with what I'm reading down here. And I am, for the most part, a capitalist, right? And so Lucasfilm has every right to fire anyone they want to for any reason. Now, these are celebrities, so there's probably a contract involved. So she's probably got to break her contract. But if she does, then they can fire her under the terms of her contract, right? I'm completely okay with that. But then the other thing I think Disney has forgotten is if I disagree with you firing her, I'm going to not watch. Maybe I won't watch your movies because I liked her in that show. And I must say, the episode she was in, that the seasons she was in were better than the ones that came after. Now, that's not all her, but it is true. But I did watch after she left the show. This wasn't enough for me to stop watching it. This wasn't Carano's first brush with controversy. Okay, she had previously mocked mask mandates during COVID-19 pandemic Yeah, masks did nothing. I think that's actually been admitted even by like Fauci now. Question the legitimacy of the 2020 election. Oh yeah, yeah. I'll go on record right now as that. It's a good thing I'm not working for Disney. I think Biden or Biden's people 100% stole the election. Trump won the 2020 election. I'm going to say it right now. Don't like it? Tell me about it in the comments, or don't watch me. I'll be happy to have that debate with you. And responded to calls for pronoun inclusion by adding beep bop boop to her Twitter file. That's greatness. I've always thought that my pronouns should be Jedi Master, but that's pretty good. I think you just stole R2D2's pronouns, but that's okay. So it's kind of funny. So yeah, she has said other things. And again, so I would say for her speech, you have free speech in America, and I think she's allowed to say what she said, but then is Disney allowed to fire her? That's really based on her contract, right? And then also, if I don't like them firing her, I don't watch her movies. And really, what bugs me about all this is just the rank hypocrisy of the left, right? They fire her for this, but Rachel Zegler says all kinds of crazy stuff, and she didn't get fired. So it's the hypocrisy that bothers me. If you say things that the left likes, you're fine. And if you say things the left doesn't like, you get canceled. It's that simple. I am fine with the left saying whatever they want to say, and I want the right to be able to say what they want to say. It should be kind of a free-for-all on free speech. Now, I'm not a free speech absolutist. There are things that you shouldn't be able to say, but I'm not going to get into all that here. So again, free speech is not absolute. I am okay with reasonable limits on free speech. But I don't think this, firing her here was very reasonable. For her for exercising her free speech. And I know free speech is mostly about government, not about businesses. But again, can they fire her contractually? So legal battle begins. Now we're going to find out what her contract says. In February 2024, Carano filed a lawsuit against Disney and Lucasfilm in California federal court, alleging wrongful termination, sex discrimination, and political bias. She demanded reinstatement in The Mandalorian and sought at least $75,000 in damages. That looks pretty reasonable, that looks like a very small amount of money for being blacklisted basically in Hollywood, by Lucasfilm. So I think that's a reasonable, non-frivolous lawsuit. Backing her legal challenge was Elon Musk, who had pledged to support individuals fired for expressing views on his platform. Musk funded Carano's legal fees, with Carano publicly thanking him. Yeah, I had read that Elon had helped her out. I want to extend my deepest, most heartfelt gratitude to Elon Musk, a man I've never met who did this good Samaritan deed for me in funding my lawsuit. Thank you, Mr. Musk and X, for backing my case and asking for nothing in return. Yeah, I get for the most part, kind of warm feelings about Elon. I think I like the guy. He's probably impossible to work for. Because he's such a genius and but he does a lot of things I like. Now, of course, like everybody else, he does stupid things too. But I think on this one, I'm pretty happy he did what he did there. Settlement reached with hints of reconciliation. On August 7th, 2025, both parties announced that the lawsuit had been settled. While the financial terms remain undisclosed, the case was dismissed with prejudice, meaning it cannot be refiled. Lucasfilm tone shifted dramatically in its post-settlement statement. Ms. Carano was always well respected by her directors, co-stars, and staff, and she worked hard to perfect her craft while treating her colleagues with kindness and respect. With this lawsuit concluded, we look forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Ms. Carano shortly. Carano echoed the sentiment, calling the resolution the best outcome for all parties involved and expressing her hope for healing to the Force. While Carano initially sought $75,000 in damages, the final settlement amount has not been publicly disclosed. I bet it's higher now. And I bet part of the deal is that they're going to write her back in. Could Cara Dune return? I'm going to have to go back and watch The Mandalorian and see what happened, what they did. Did she just disappear? Did they kill her? I can't remember. Despite the prior acrimony, Disney's softened stance has led to speculation about Carano's potential return to the Star Wars universe. She was initially slated to lead the Rangers of the New Republic spin-off before her dismissal. While no projects have been confirmed, the door appears to be ajar. As Carano put it, I'm excited to flip the page and move on to the next chapter. My desires remain in the arts, which is where you will join me. Yeah, so good. I'm happy to see conservatives are starting to win in these battles. So, the HR department or the producers over there at The Mandalorian, bunch of woke Karens decided to fire her over just stating an opinion that would be widely held, I would say, by the general public. This was not a wild, crazy opinion. It's much less crazy than things Rachel Zegler said about Snow White. And again, she didn't get fired. So there's a definite bias there. And I'm glad we're finally starting to stamp out the bias. And as Cartman famously said, woke is dead. Thanks, everybody. If you like this, like and subscribe. If you didn't like it, don't watch me. Thanks. Bye.